Morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, Don Weld back with us. Morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good deal. You all ready for Thanksgiving, or?
Yeah.
Good deal.
You know, a big turkey dinner and all that kind of stuff, and a bunch of friends getting together.
Good deal. Are you a turkey lover or not so much?
No more than a good roast beef steak, you know.
You're like, I'll eat it on Thanksgiving, but I'm good after that.
Yeah.
I don't need it any other time.
I cook a lot of turkey for my dogs, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get the ground turkey and mix it up with some pumpkin and stuff, and it's a supplement to their regular diet.
Oh,
so
nice. Okay.
They're well fed.
I think they're eating better than I am.
Yeah, they're spoiled.
I'm like, I had a hot pocket.
Yeah, there you go.
They got ground turkey and pumpkin mix going on.
There you go.
Well, good deal. Well, it sounds like you're ready for some fun.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you are ready to maybe get away from some of that a little later this week, the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge has an opportunity for you to to be honest, we say get away, but it could be a chance for you and your family to do something that's a little away from the hustle and bustle of all the football and turkey and Black Friday shopping and all the craziness that's going to be going on towards the end of this week.
Yep.
Cranes and Cocoa. This is it's an annual event that's been going on at the Bitter Lake. It took a little hiatus here because of the COVID.
Last year, yeah, we couldn't do it then.
But it's been an annual event in the fall here when it's around the time when the cranes migrate.
That's right.
And Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is like a pilot flying J.
There you go.
For the cranes.
Yep.
And rest area.
It.
And they use it as a place where they rest for the night, they refuel, refeed, and, they get ready, and then as they're coming from the north to move south for the winter here, and I imagine vice versa in the spring or in the late winter here, they probably stop in as they're heading back north for the warmer months.
Some of them spend the whole winter here.
Gotcha.
But not all of them.
So this is their winter home. Others, it's like, now we're just here to visit, and then we're moving on to farther south.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the cousins and aunts and uncles, and they pass through. Say, oh, hi, how you doing? Okay, see you on the way back.
Nice.
Yeah.
But every year you guys have an event where folks are allowed to come out, sit out on the porches out there, enjoy a nice cup of cocoa, and watch the cranes come in.
Yep.
It's kind of, I always compare. It's like if you ever go and watch the bats when they leave out at the Carlsbad Caverns. It's nature. It's like that. Some days it's like everybody and their uncle's going out hunting for the bats, and so it's really others. Some of the bats decide to sleep in or whatever, and the cranes are the same way. They're just like anything else. Some are punctual, and nope, we're it's like humans. No, we're on a schedule. We got to be at Bitter Lake by whatever time. And others are like, we stopped and ate on the way, and then we got there when we got there. And others, that's how it is. So we can't guarantee how many cranes or anything like that, but you can go out there, enjoy some cocoa, enjoy the beautiful nature out there at Bitter Lake, and it might be a little chilly, so you get a blanket and wrap up.
That's right. Bring your jackets.
Bring your jackets, and you kind of just watch nature and spend time sipping on your cocoa with your loved ones, maybe talking quietly, and just watching the birds come in and watching them do their thing. These cranes are beautiful. I mean, what's cool about it is they just look so different than the wildlife that resides here all the time.
Right.
It's like, ooh, the cranes.
They're huge.
Yeah, these cranes aren't really native to this area. They come in and travel, and some like you said, they're Florida vacationers. They come hang out for the winter here, and then they go back. But come see it. Come be a part. That's one slice of all the cool stuff. That's right. Bitter Lake.
We've actually had pelicans come in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same idea.
I always think they're more coastal birds or something.
You would think so,
yeah.
but some of them come through this area headed for the Gulf and vice versa.
Okay.
They go up to areas around Salt Lake.
Okay. I wonder if like wind streams kind of blow them a little bit.
Could be.
Farther inland or something like that.
Now, we get the sandhill cranes here.
Okay.
We had one year, we had a different crane. Oh, the name escapes me. but it's a bigger crane.
Okay.
And they're usually in Siberia and run down the Asian coast.
Wow, so they were in the wrong hemisphere.
They got blown over from Siberia into Alaska and got caught up with the sandhill cranes.
Oh wow!
And actually came down and spent the winter in this area.
Got adopted by the group there, I guess.
Oh yeah, they do. You know,
interesting.
And then went back. This was 4 or 5 years ago that happened. But,
interesting.
So it can happen.
I wonder if that ever creates a little crossbreeding a little bit sometimes, where if you get one of these birds that kind of got away from their flock and end up in another and starts creating maybe a hybrid species of these or something, you know?
I don't know, but I'm sure. Well, now Jim Montgomery is going to be out there.
He's the expert.
He's our resident guru on the cranes.
So if you've got questions like that, you can ask
him
while you're sipping your cocoa and watching, because I'm sure if you're like me, you get about 10 of those throughout the course of the evening. Or you just sitting there watching and be like, hey, why is he doing that? What's that's all about? Or,
now we're going to meet at the nature store.
Okay,
that's at about 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
We'll open up there. The nature store will be open for a limited number of people at a time.
Okay,
we can't, because of the
numbers and COVID.
Yeah, spatial. We can't really see the whole nature store, but you can come into the store.
Okay, portion,
about half a dozen people at a time. And shop. This is a great place to get Christmas presents.
Nice, yeah.
So they're inexpensive.
Yeah.
I was going to say cheap, but that's not true. None of that stuff is cheap, but it is inexpensive.
Cheap in cost, not cheap in experience.
There you go. Yeah, and nicety. There's some beautiful stuff there. That great Christmas presents.
Well, and what I love about places like that, it's because you get to get stuff that you generally can't find in stores.
That's right.
And a lot of it's going to be obviously related to what's going on out there at Bitter Lake. So if you're wanting to learn like if you're having books about birds or certain plant life or species that call this area home, there's a lot of that kind of information there. T-shirts and things, like if you want collectibles and stuff. I'm a big T-shirt guy, so come out there and get a couple T-shirts for your friends and family, or if you want to, if they collect them, like I have certain family members that collect like shot glasses or magnets or things like that.
Right.
If you have that kind of stuff, you can get all that. But if you want more in-depth, educational, fun, cool stuff,
they're out there too.
Kids' toys and things. I'm sure they got a lot of those cool, educational toys and fun things that kids will love to play with, but at the same time get to learn a little bit more about nature and things like that. So.
And a lot of it is, we've got some stuff out there that's handmade, local people.
Oh, so unique
items
stuff,
that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Nice.
And you can't even go to Amazon and get some of this stuff.
Wow. So really unique. So So do it a twofold event. Come on out for Cranes and Cocoa on Saturday here,
and stop into the nature store.
Get there a little early, do a little shopping, and then get you a spot on the porch out there and enjoy the cranes and get you cocoa.
Yeah, what we do just about sunset.
Okay,
4:30, 5 o'clock or so. We'll caravan. We'll get in our cars and we'll go out to the ponds on the south end.
Okay.
And that's where the cranes usually come in for the night. They'll fly in and land in, and we never know. We kind of have an idea, but we don't really have a well-defined area where they're going to land each night.
It's kind of whatever looks best to them as they're coming in.
Correct. Yeah.
But generally, that's their ballpark. They usually go in
that area, one of those ponds. And some nights or sometimes you can go out there and you can watch them come in by the thousands.
Wow.
And other times you get, 100 or so.
But what's like the season that they're doing? Because I'm obviously not all doing this on Saturday night. This is something that goes on.
Oh, they're here.
During the
cranes
season
are here from about mid-October, first part of October to mid-October when they start coming in.
So they start rolling in here about 2-3 weeks ago, and they'll continue to run in for a couple more weeks.
In and out.
And then the ones that are going to be settling and finding their spots for the winter.
Here. And along about March or so, March, April, usually March, they start hitting. They got a 2,000-mile trip.
Wow.
Because they go to the Arctic Circle to nest for the summer.
Wow.
So they got to take off from here around March or April to get up there in time to get a nest.
Wow.
Do their thing and raise that chick and then fly back.
And this might be some good questions to ask on Saturday, but that you wondered I wonder if the younger cranes are the ones that make the full trek, and some of the older ones stop in Roswell for the winter? I mean, like, I wonder if that's some of the evolutionary part. As they get older, they don't do the full trip. They kind of stop halfway. I'm wondering if
some of it's family.
Okay.
You know, they stay pretty somewhat with their, because especially the young ones, they will come with the parents, and if the parents go on, the chick will go on.
Gotcha.
And then the next year, the chick will start to do their own thing.
Okay.
But that first year, they're going to go where the parents go. If the parents stick out the winter here, they'll stay here. If they and so on.
And this is where, science is not my strength. Do cranes generally produce offspring their whole life, or do they? Is it a one and done? Or
pretty much, yeah. Okay. I don't think there's a.
Or do they retire at some point saying, "Hey, I'm going to live out my ripe old age. I've had enough offspring."
No, I don't think they go through menopause.
Okay. I was just curious. I know they're like, "Hey, I'm done. I'm hanging out here. You keep going."
That would be a question for Jim.
Yeah. So on Saturday you can ask these questions.
Yeah, but, these are good questions that Jim. Jim will come up with some humorous answers. He's good.
Good deal.
So we enjoy it. Now, Jim is not resident to Roswell anymore.
Oh, he moved?
Yeah, he moved up to Santa Fe.
Okay. So he just comes down for occasions like this. He comes down
for this, and he comes down quite often for what we call the crane count or the bird counts.
Okay.
So, and I don't know, usually bird counts are on Wednesday mornings.
Okay.
They're out there at 4 o'clock in the morning counting bird in the dark, you know. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. No.
Some guy going, I lost count.
No, I start them over. Light them up. Yeah.
Hey, Bob, 2. Stop, I'm counting 3.
Yeah.
27. Stop, you messed me up.
Of course, they don't count that way.
No, yeah.
You know, that would be fun.
But that's, it's a good reminder here that, this is that difference we talk about between basically bottomless lakes and Bitter Lake. It's Bottomless Lakes is a park for you to come and enjoy. And
humans.
Things. Bitter Lake is a preserve. It's a wildlife preserve.
That's right.
It's for us to come and enjoy nature and things. But the goal number 1 is to preserve and study nature. And
correct.
And so we get to come out and enjoy it at events like Cranes and Cocoa here. But at the end of the day, the main point of this park is to study, to preserve nature and wildlife. So these people are out here studying these migratory patterns of the cranes, and based on these counts and information, they're saying, okay, the cranes are doing well, or they're struggling, or this is how we figure out: are they becoming endangered? Are they thriving? What's going on there? And that's what that refuge is all about. That, among 1,000 other things, it's the plant life and everything else. But that's the role of this refuge, and that's what and any preserve in the nation. The whole point is to keep it as close to its ecological, the way the good Lord intended it here, as possible, and for us to and so we as humans study it so we can strive to make the least impact to that as possible. Right. Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
That's why they call it a refuge.
Yeah,
it's a refuge for the wildlife.
Yeah, but I think we just need to understand that's the whole point of that place. So if you're like, why can't I go and swim and do all the things I do at Bottomless Lake? It's because it's a different park. It's for different things. They don't, we want to make sure that long after we're gone, the next generation can come and see the wildlife and plant life and experience the things that truly unique oasis that we have in the middle of the desert out here.
Yep.
And so that's what it is. It's just a different mission. So come out, enjoy it, come, and be good stewards of our land. That's the thing. When I'm an Eagle Scout, raised in Boy Scouts, and one thing we always talked about was, whenever we went camping or any kind of trip out into the wilderness or nature, our rule is you always leave the place better than you found it.
Yep.
And that's what that reserve is. The refuge is all about is to preserve, and as we as visitors always need to make sure that we leave it better than we found it.
Yep. Pack it in, pack it out.
That's right. The only thing left behind is your memories, and nothing else.
That's right. The only thing you take away from is your memories.
Exactly. Yeah, I should have rephrased that better. Don't leave trash and stuff there. But but yeah, that's what it's for. And so come out to the crane event. I think you're going to really dig it. I think it's going to be fun. You're going to get to experience things you never, and that's just it. Bring young folks, bring the families, bring out, because I think this is like we kids and everything get amazed by things you see on YouTube and all this stuff. I'm telling you, Mother Nature's got them all beat when you come to this stuff, and some of the most amazing things. And I don't care how many videos you've watched, it does not do it justice.
No, you got to see it in life.
It doesn't do it justice. And, and you know, it kind of reminds me, over the weekend I was watching a commercial, and it was for one of these like Peloton or one of these ones where you ride a bike and ride anywhere, and they take you to these mountains and all this stuff. And I was like, well, that's a great idea. You know, you live in the city and stuff. But I was thinking, or you just buy a real bike and go outside and ride it, and you experience all those things too.
That's even better.
Exactly. And guess what? That's Bitter Lake. You can go and watch all these videos about cranes and nature and be fascinated by it, or come out to Bitter Lake, see it, smell it, experience it.
And bring your bike.
And bring your bicycle. Yeah.
That's a good place to ride your bike.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And it's a dirt road, so keep that in mind.
Sure.
But you can go all the way around. It's you know, the whole drive is
so you got your mountain bikes or trail bikes. Those would be perfect for those.
Yeah.
Maybe leave your road 10 speeders.
I wouldn't.
Those thin tires might not be good.
Not out there, no.
But your trail bikes, they'll be perfect.
Yeah, trail bikes would be good, or you know, mountain bikes, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And we're looking in the future, still keeping my fingers crossed, in putting a bike trail from Roswell out through Bitter Lake.
Oh, wow.
And possibly down across, if we can figure out how to get across that highway, over to Bottomless Lakes.
Cool.
And then maybe sometime in the future from Bottomless Lakes down to the Dexter area.
Oh, wow.
And then back up from
there. So make
there.
it a true bike
complete circle
trail, and you could start from your home wherever.
Yeah.
And ride out to Bottomless Lakes, Bitter Lakes, all these different locations.
That's right. Yeah, it'd be a heck of a ride.
Sure would.
It'd be a marathon ride.
But I think people that ride every day and stuff would probably really appreciate that kind of opportunity.
And it'd be a great idea, a great opportunity to get out in the wild.
Well, and that's just it. If you've never been out to Bitter Lake, it's a different world.
It is.
Literally, figuratively, it's an oasis, and we see the brown, the desert, and everything. And then you go out there, and it's like, wow, there's this whole, there's water, there's wildlife, there's animals. It's just not dirt and sand and rocks. It's so much more.
No, that means something.
Yeah.
And our walkway is getting there. We're going to have a bird blind back. Now, we've had a bird blind in the past, but the trail that led up to the bird blind was dilapidated, falling apart. We had to shut it down for safety reasons.
Gotcha.
Well, now we're getting that trail rebuilt.
Okay.
A little bridge way to come across to get onto the trail. There'll be a parking spot on the east side as you're driving around.
Okay.
There'll be a little parking spot where you can enter and then walk out to this bird blind. Hopefully, they'll have that bird blind done January, February.
Okay, so ready for spring here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just in time to start seeing the migratories.
Seeing the birds coming back.
Yeah, going north again.
Nice.
Another one of the birds. Now, the cranes, we love the cranes. That's the whole idea. But we also have Canada geese.
The Canadian geese come out, too.
Yeah. And
they're very pretty birds, too.
They are. They are. And they're big, too.
Yeah.
And we get a whole variety of
They're
ducks.
Loud like the cranes, too.
They are. Boy, they start honking.
It's almost like, shut up.
Yeah. That's right.
But they are pretty. They're beautiful birds. That color patterns on those Canadian geese are really beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, good deal. So do you see them more in the spring or?
They're there now.
Oh, they're there now too. So they kind of mixed in with the cranes.
Actually, I think the geese come in probably a week or two ahead of the cranes.
Okay.
And they leave about the same time, give or take, around that March time.
Gotcha. Now, I want to remind folks, not that they may not have this opportunity, but it is a wildlife preserve. This isn't a zoo. This isn't a petting zoo. You don't go up and try to feed the geese or not. This isn't like ducks at the park. This is nothing like that. To be honest, your job is to sit and watch from afar. The less interaction with the wildlife, the better. Because the more, and I know we are humans and we want to love and pet and touch and everything, but when it comes to wild, migratory, just wild animals in general.
Yep.
You can do more harm than good by getting more human interaction with them.
That's right. Stay back from them.
So
Please.
For the safety and the benefit of those animals, they don't want you up there petting them and touching them and trying to feed them because
that's not the purpose.
Yeah, and to be honest, you're actually you don't want to set a pattern where they think they're going to get fed by humans every time they see people. Then they start getting domesticated, and it hurts their wild instincts. And,
that's right.
And it could pose a problem for them down the road. So best bet is sit on the porch or sit out out on the side there, drink your cocoa, and just enjoy the interaction.
Right. Yeah.
So so don't be thinking about bringing bread or anything new. Hey, let's go feed them. No, none of that stuff.
Don't do it.
This is not a trip to the zoo or a trip to the pond at the park there to feed the ducks.
And when you drive around there, please go slow, because we have turtles that try to cross the road. We have fox. We have raccoons. We have we had a little bobcat out there. I don't know if he's still around or not, but we had a bobcat out there. If you're speeding through that area and this animal jumps out off the edge trying to go someplace or chase a prey or just get from one side of the road to the other, you might hit them and wipe out a whole species. You never know it.
Now, you don't have to wait for the turtle to cross the road. You could probably move, go around it or something, but you might be there a while. But, know.
Actually, they move pretty good when they're going across that road.
They don't mess around there, huh?
They know.
They can put my turtle jetpack on. Yeah. We got to get across this street.
They can feel the vibrations.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're probably 10 times smarter than we are.
Who knows?
Kind of,
at least in that situation,
they're in tune much more than we are to that stuff than we are. But please come out. If you've never been out, make Saturday your first time. Come on out. Go. Be a part of this thing. Obviously, Dragonfly Festival got put on hiatus this year because of COVID, but look for it back next year.
Correct.
That's usually that takes place around September time frame.
Yeah, the first Saturday after Labor Day.
Yes. Yeah, and that's probably arguably the biggest event that happens out in Bitter Lake as far as the public's concerned. But since we couldn't do that this year, make Cranes and Cocoa that big event for you.
There you go.
Come on out, sit out. Is there any cost involved or anything to participate?
None.
Just
in fact, the cookies and cocoa are free.
Good deal. Do they need to RSVP or just come on out?
Just come on out.
Just come on out. Now, like you said,
like the game show. Come on down.
So probably about 3-ish is about a good time to be down there.
Yeah, we'll start serving about 3.
Okay.
And along about, like I said, around 4:30, 4:45, something like that. We'll take a little caravan out to the ponds.
It does get darker earlier now because of time change. And
by 5 o'clock, we're seeing sundown, and that's when the cranes are coming in.
That's the sweet time to be out there.
They've been feeding all day out in the fields around the area.
Very good.
And they'll come back to winter or to nighttime to take their little sleep on the night.
Good deal.
Out on the water.
Excellent. So
it's a safety place out on the water.
Gotcha. That's there. Well, and that's probably part of it too. These animals, these migratory animals, are pretty smart. Not only in terms that the refuge has basically all the amenities they need, but I think wild animals know exactly what areas are protected and what, you know what I mean?
They do.
Like, just for an instance, like in Ruidoso, where my parents, in-laws used to live, they used to, there'd be all kind of deer and elk just walking through neighborhoods, and you're like, they know they can't shoot nobody in these neighborhoods because they're not,
Cloudcroft, same thing.
Yeah. And so I got a feeling they know the refuge there, and like, this is safe. They can't, you never have those issues. And so, I mean, I'm sure they don't look up rules before they go, but they just kind of instinctually know these are places where we don't get harassed. These are places where we got to be on the lookout. They learn that stuff just like you do, and everyone else does. You do things, and you tend to pick up patterns. And animals are big time. I don't across the board. Animals are creatures of habit when it comes to that kind of stuff. They are. Yeah. They just. I don't care what the species is or breed or any of that stuff. It's just it's like that. Even your non-domesticated pets. I know we talk about dogs and cats, do that, but deer, bear, all those do the same.
They do.
They've got their patterns.
They very much do.
Habits and everything else. So. One other thing I'd like to mention real quick too is if you're interested in you want to get more involved. Friends of Bitter Lake is an organization that is made up of community volunteers, people that support the things that happen at Bitter Lake. Don's been a part of it for several years now.
About 5 or 6 now.
I'm sure you're always looking for more individuals that love to come out and be a part of this. If you love doing a little work, because some of the things they do is some of the service projects, like some of these trails and stuff we were talking about. Friends of Bitter Lake, a lot of them are volunteers that help and work,
clean those up,
and obviously through the supervision of the conservationists and the experts and things like that. But they're the ones. And I would also say this: if you love that kind of nature and getting out and want to maybe even get to participate and see and do things at Bitter Lake that generally the public doesn't get to go to or be a part of, being a friend of Bitter Lake is kind of your golden ticket for some of that stuff. Because let's face it, there's parts of that refuge that the public doesn't get to go to because of the delicacy of the ecosystem there, and they just don't want the public there. However, people need to be out there to study it, to work on it. If there's projects and things, certain groups will go out there. And guess what? Friends of Bitter Lake, they're some of the groups that get to go. And so if you want to, and then there's perks too. The experts and stuff say if you're really into this, they're like, hey, let me take you to a part that we never get to see and see some of the that. So there is membership has its privileges. You get a little inside tracked on seeing some of the inner workings of that. Of Bitter Lake and everything. But if you'd love to be a friend, when you come out Saturday, ask about it. Or if you go to the website, friendsofbitterlake.org. And you can, learn more about the events we're talking about here, but also learn more about the program, become a part of it if you'd like to volunteer to be a friend of Bitter Lake. And more of those folks are needed to help.
And we post our newsletter on the website.
Good deal.
So it's up there,
so you can kind of learn about it now. And so if you're looking for I want to just get out there and work on the land and do that kind of, maybe you live in an apartment or something and you're like, I love gardening, I love landscaping, I love doing that type of work. Guess what? Bitter Lake has a bunch of projects for you can help work
next spring. We'll be opening up the Butterfly Trail again. It winters for now. We've turned off the water and all, but next spring we're gonna have to come in, do some weeding. So we can open up and put down some more of the butterfly plants, so that the monarch can have the milkweed.
Gotcha.
So that the monarch will have a place to lay its eggs.
Gotcha.
We have seen an increase in butterflies out there.
That's good.
Monarchs. Since we started doing
Are the monarchs endangered on the endangered species? Gotcha. So that's a great thing to see.
So we need to keep that going, and that's a big thing nationally. They're trying to get more monarch gardens and ways for the monarchs to
I don't want to get into a whole expert thing, but is it just generally man developing? Is that part of the reason why the numbers have gone down, or is it more
kind of like the bees? Okay. I think it's the same because the monarchs are pollinators as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
The milkweed they lay their eggs on.
Okay.
But the monarchs themselves go from flower to flower, and they do a lot of pollination.
Gotcha.
And they will pollinate agricultural products as well as the others. So
they serve the same role as a bee would in our ecosystem.
Right. Probably not to the same extent because the bees are so much better at it.
Sure. Well, I imagine they're probably, I don't know migratory plans of butterflies and bees, but I'm betting the bees are a little bit bigger than the butterflies as far as their territory.
Yeah.
That's what
and monarchs tend to traverse way up Canada. They'll go up to Canada and then they'll work their way back down to Mexico.
Okay.
Generations go to different places.
And again, I'm not an expert in this, but I'm betting they're probably better in cooler weather than bees are. I'm guessing
to some extent.
Yeah.
When they go down to Mexico, they go up into the high mountains. And it actually gets pretty cold.
Yeah, it can up there.
So they've had cases where whole groups of monarchs have died from frostbite.
Wow.
In Mexico.
Wow.
So
you wouldn't have guessed that one.
Yeah. So but for the most part, they go down there for that reason to stay a little warmer. Anyway.
Interesting. So again, that's part of the and that's something too. We talk dragonflies and yeah, they're very much a part of the Bitter Lake, but butterflies are probably just as prominent and prevalent as the dragonflies.
Very much so. We're trying to increase that population.
That's great.
We have had butterfly releases out there in the past year.
As a matter of fact, in some of the past Dragonfly festivals, there's been little release weekends for the kids got to participate in, and I imagine we'll have more of those in the future.
We will, if we can get all this stuff back on track and going where we like it to be.
Yeah,
we will definitely continue that.
Absolutely. Friendsofbitterlake.org, your best resource for everything we're talking about here. And again, don't miss the annual Cranes and Cocoa event. It's happening this Saturday out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. About 3 p.m. Everything's going to be getting underway. Get out there around 3. It doesn't cost you a dime. You don't need to RSVP. Bring the whole family. Bring a jacket. Bring something warm.
Bring your camera.
Bring your cameras and things. And if you're doing the go in the gift shop stuff, wear your mask and all that. It is It is a national.
It's still a protocol.
Yeah, and that's the mandates right now. Like, hey, whatever it is, but just please get it just to support the store and not we just want people to come and get their things. We're not trying to make statements or messages. Just want to.
No, it's just part of the protocol.
That's part of the rules, and that's what we got to do.
And it's a safety thing, and I don't wear my mask as often as I should, but I understand it, and I try to keep my mask available so that I can.
Now, if you're out in the nature out there walking around, do what you got to do. But if you're going in the gift shop or something like that,
if you're indoors,
just
definitely
to make everybody happy, just put your mask on and get your stuff. And then when you get back outside to watch the cranes,
take it off,
rip it right off. Is there a phone number that they can call if they don't do internet stuff? Is there a way?
Actually, they're trying to redo the phone system at the nature store.
Okay, so right now, really,
there's no phone call.
Okay.
Phone at the nature store.
Okay.
If you really need to know more information, you can call me.
Okay.
Or you can call Steve Alvarez.
Yes, I would say he's the park ranger out there, but that's not. I don't think he's a official title.
Well, it's a little more than park ranger.
Yeah, I think of him as the park ranger out there.
Yeah, he's the one that does our volunteer coordination.
Gotcha.
So if you need something from him, I'm looking up his phone number right now. If you need to talk to him about being a volunteer, you can do that.
Okay, and of course you can ask him on Saturday when they're out there too.
Yeah, he will be there Saturday, and you can reach him at. Come on, phone. There we go. 575-914-3332.
All right. So 3 3s and a 2.
All right. Now, you can also call me. I used to be the president of the Friends, but I stepped down. I figured
your term is done, huh?
Yeah, I figured I did my time. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, but right now I've decided to back off and devote myself to many other projects.
Don is a man of many busy. He's very, very involved in our American Legion, Friends of Bitter Lake, the zoo, Alzheimer's Association,
Veterans Transport.
Yeah, he's a man. He's probably busier not retired than he was when he was working.
You got it. I had to retire and get new tires because I'm driving these at nothing. But. So yeah, that's good. But if you need to, you can call me.
Okay.
575-495-3325.
Very good.
We seem to like the 3s.
The 3s there.
Yeah.
And you got to follow it with a 2.
Yeah. And if I don't happen to answer, please leave me a message.
Don will get back with you.
I will. Yep. Yes, especially if it's about one of these projects that I'm involved with.
Absolutely.
Legion or zoo or Bitter Lake or Alzheimer's or we need drivers at the Veterans Transport.
So if some folks have some time, would like to drive, reach out.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah, if you've got, maybe you're working just 4 or 5 days a week or over the weekend or something. The drivers, we drive from Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
And we go, mostly it's to Artesia, but we do go up to Albuquerque, occasionally to Alamogordos, El Paso, or some of these other places. We even drove to Amarillo one time.
Oh, wow. I guess depending on what the procedure or whatever's needed.
Whatever the vet needs.
Gotcha.
So we drive veterans to all these different places. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's a great way to support the community and help out. And it's actually pretty fun. You get to chit chat with some of these vets and learn some stories and hear some stuff too.
And I can give you a phone number for that one too. If you'd like to drive and like to help out veterans, and that's what it is. 575-622-0729. And you can contact that Monday through Thursday from about 9 to 3.
Perfect.
Talk to Alice.
Yeah, we need to get those guys in and talk a little bit more about that too. The veterans transport.
Get Marcos. He's gonna hate me because I keep forgetting his name.
You'll remember about 8:15 or 9:15.
Yeah, there you go. Give me an hour or so, I'll remember it. Oh, whooping crane.
Ah,
that was that crane that came down with the others.
Oh yeah, you don't see them very often.
No, you don't. And he apparently they figure he got blown away across from Siberia over to.
He got a whooping cough and
there you go. There you go. It was just the 1 year. He just wound up and then flew back, and that was it. Never saw him again.
Yeah, maybe he just wanted a vacation side trip.
Yeah, he says, "I'll go see my cousins.
I'm going to see the coast, see your little inland a little bit.
There you go.
It's out there." Well, thank you, Don. As always, appreciate you. And
thank you.
We'll see you. Have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you between now and then too.
Yes, you too.
Awesome.
And enjoy.
And come on out Saturday, folks. Come on out.
Come out and see us.
About 3 o'clock, everything's getting underway out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Looking forward to it. Have your cookies and cocoa and watch the cranes.
Absolutely.
And the geese.
And if there's just one, it's a goose.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks, Don.